From the shores of West Hampton Beach to the Dome in Syracuse, New York is shaping up to be a key battleground in the fight to control the U.S. House, giving voters like Marist College student Jack Whitman an outsized voice that they're not necessarily accustomed to.
I think a lot of voters in New York, specifically in the Hudson Valley region, sometimes feel like their votes don't matter, New York being such an overwhelmingly blue state.
Nationwide, Republicans need to pick up just 5 seats to win control of the House. New York is home to plenty of opportunities. Thanks to redistricting and lawmaker retirements, races on Long Island, in the Hudson Valley, and in the Syracuse area are competitive this year, with the margins expected to be tight. Among the most high-profile is New York's 17th district, where the Democrat leading the effort to keep his party in power, Sean Patrick Maloney, is in a fight for his own political life, facing an influx of outside spending on behalf of his opponent.
New York is important, you better believe it. We are on the front lines here.
Over on Long Island, 3 of 4 congressional seats are open. Incumbent Republican Lee Zeldin is making a bid for governor instead, while Democrats Tom Suozzi and Kathleen Rice are leaving Congress. That leaves only Republican Andrew Garbarino looking to keep his job on Capitol Hill.
The majority could be determined in New York State alone. It's very exciting.
Of course, it wasn't always supposed to be this way. An earlier iteration of New York's congressional map, drawn by Democrats, gave the party a few easy pickup opportunities across the state, and certainly didn't put them on the defensive in so many areas. That map, though, was thrown out in court. The judges ruled Democrats had violated the state constitution, crafting a partisan gerrymander and bypassing an independent redistricting commission in the process. The court instead appointed an outside expert to draw the lines, transforming New York from a state where Democrats could compensate for losses elsewhere in the country into a place where they could hemorrhage seats. Over the course of a week, I visited several of New York's must-watch districts, speaking with candidates who are well aware of the stakes.
There's tons of pressure, especially when I'm talking to folks like you who keep reminding me of it all the time.
The struggle to save American democracy is running straight through New York 1.
And voters who are eager to be heard.
We need to get the people out of government that have been there 40, 50 years.
I'm willing to look at anyone who is making smart decisions.
This, as the decisions made by New York voters are poised to have national consequences. And it's worth noting that national outlets are also starting to play up the prospects of what could go on in New York, especially as we see this competitive governor's race. How much of a trickle-down effect will that have on some of these more regional races, congressional races, remains to be seen. Over the course of the next couple days here on New York 1, I'll be kind of going through some of these races a little more closely, talking to the candidates, looking at the specific dynamics of those individual contests. Errol?
Kevin, given the impact on national politics, has a lot of outside money been flowing to these races that you've looked at?
To say the very least, especially when you're looking at some of these more high-profile contests. The Sean Patrick Maloney race that you saw there in particular, you saw a super PAC affiliated with the House leadership pouring millions of dollars in ad buys into that, going after Maloney. At the same time, the DCCC pouring in money in response. Other races in some of these competitive districts also drawing that cash and also drawing outside voices and high-profile folks. The president was in Poughkeepsie just the other week, which is obviously central to one of those contests. Then he was in the Syracuse area just last week, also one of those key contests, trying to kind of drive up turnout there. Kevin McCarthy has also made some appearances in some of these areas too, who's candidates. But it'll come down to turnout, which I know is very cliche to say, and also candidates and their own individual personalities.
Okay, can't wait to see the rest of your series. Thanks a lot, Kevin.